Hello everybody, Starving Martian here, and today we're taking a look at the Zappum van from the 1997 Men in Black toy line put out by Gloob to coincide with a movie of the same name. Alright, we've already taken a look at one of the basic action figures, Agent K, in the form of Street Striker K. If you haven't seen that review yet, we'll just click on my name. There's a Men in Black playlist. He's in there. But having taken a look at one of the heroes, let's take a look at one of the villains, or the villain really of the piece, but one of his many forms. Edgar, the main villain of Men in Black, was released in like at least 4 different versions, believe it or not. This is one of them. This is the Zappum van, and if you remember in the movie, Edgar is a giant cockroach alien bug who lands on Earth, steals the skin of a bumpkin named Edgar. So that's how he gets his name. We don't really know what his name is per se in the movie. The bug, he's just called the bug, but he's wearing his Edgar suit, and so for purposes for marketing and whatnot, he's referred to as Edgar. So he quite ironically steals an extermination van and drives around in it. He rolls his little flying saucer into the back and finds quite amusingly that it doesn't quite fit. And so in the movie, he has to tear like a gash in one side of the van to get the saucer to fit, and the end of the saucer kind of sticks out somewhat comically. So this is a very heavily stylized version of the van you see in the movie. It's almost cartoony in its proportions. You can see Edgar's been driving it for a while. Edgar was a terrible driver. For one thing, he had no previous experience with Earth vehicles, and for another, you got to figure he's a bug trying to work inside of a human shell, trying to work a vehicle he's unfamiliar with. It's a lot to take in. So, give Edgar props for what he did accomplish, but he wasn't very good at driving. You could tell his rearview mirrors smashed and squished to the side. In the movie, I don't believe there was actually even a door here. But the door is there for a reason. It hides a function of the toy. On the other side, same thing. Rear view mirror crushed, smashed onto the side. You can see little pop marks here that almost look like bullet holes. They're on the other side as well. So this is post some kind of confrontation. Alright, on the front of the vehicle, over here it should say Zappum in reverse, like an ambulance. And also there should be something on the license plate. Sadly, there is not. There is a label up top that says Extermination, Fumigation, Pest Control. It's a sticker that fortunately was already applied. I hate putting my own stickers on. They always come out crooked. The front of the van is splattered with mud. It's got this brown-gray kind of paint going over it. The muddy splatter works its way onto the roof of the vehicle as well. And they actually molded in some raised parts here for mud droplets, so it's not just a paint spray. There actually is some texture here of the mud that Edgar's been driving through. And you can see, instead of just one single gash for the UFO to stick out of, this vehicle has a gash on like all 3 sides of the trunk. The back of the car is comically roped off, duct taped, boarded over. This almost reminds me of like a real Ghostbusters vehicle from the early 90s when they started to get a little silly with them. This is still obviously the van from the movie, but they've gone the extra mile. And while I suppose I would appreciate something slightly more screen accurate, and I really wish the saucer could stick out of here like it does in the film, this is pretty good for what it is. It rolls well. Got a big, chunky Tonka truck kind of feel to it. And, and in case you're curious, the bug on the top, which looks a lot more like an ant here. I think it looks slightly more roach-like in the movie. But he is removable if you feel like it. You could pluck him off. Here's the ant. So he's just got two holes here. He sits on these pegs. There you go. Alright, now I actually do have the package, the box that goes with this guy. I've got it collapsed for storage purposes. But usually I would show off the package first, but the box, for advertising reasons, it shows off and spoils the surprises hidden in this van. Oh, this thing comes with a couple surprises. For one thing, you can open up the back of the van to reveal Edgar's spaceship, which hides in here a lot better than it did in the movie. And we're just going to take a quick look into the back of the van because they've molded in some interesting details here. I don't know how well this comes out, but on the floor and the side there, it's all black web kind of thing going on, and it actually looks very much like something you would find in the Aliens franchise, like an alien hive. So let's move the van out of the way for the moment and bring in Edgar's spaceship. Just a simple little saucer. If you saw my Mars Attacks review, I have the Mars Attacks flying saucer toy from the movie. And you'll know that I very much appreciate just a simple saucer design, like a classic 1950s, 1960s kind of UFO. If you haven't seen that, again, click on my name, Starving Martian, and there'll be a link to Martian Peace Theater, where I keep all my Mars Attacks reviews. But they did an interesting job here on the paint. I kind of like it. It's a silvery gray, but it's more black on the back, and it slowly fades that way. So it's kind of like the burn or scoring from entering Earth's atmosphere, crashing into the truck as it did. And being more than just a simple saucer, it actually opens up. There's a spot here you could get your fingernail under, and there's Edgar inside. He's a little bit spring-loaded. I don't know if it's a weak spring or just the age of the toy. This is a 20-year-old figure. But Edgar's inside, and he pops up. You can't remove him from here. But you can move him around a little bit. His arms come up and down. The arms are very stiff. If the box didn't say that it has movable arms, I would have assumed that the arms were in a fixed position. But once you get them moving, they start moving a little more smoothly. And the interior of his ship has that same black organic design as the interior of the van. Very alien-esque. In fact, you could see the details inside the saucer. There's like almost a rib cage kind of construct going on down here. Front of the saucer here, you can see little control panels. And I don't know if you'll be able to really see from here because of different angles, but yeah, there's human skulls over here molded in. And on the other side, again molded in, not picked out in any paint or anything, but you got a human leg. It's rather grisly. But if you remember in the movie, when Edgar was going to be leaving Earth, he took the woman who would become Agent L, and he was going to bring her with him. And he said it was a long trip and he would need a snack. So obviously he wasn't lying. He munches on people in his spare time. I don't know where he got these people from. It must have been an earlier trip to Earth. But there you go. So again, all you can really do with him is make him bob his head and wiggle his arms a little bit. But it's cool that they included him. It's neat that he's actually in the saucer. And I very much appreciate that detail. So you put the saucer, you'll see there's a little green ring in the back of the van here. So it fits in there. Doesn't fasten, it doesn't click, but you can put it in there. If you want, you could even leave this partially open so you get a hint of the saucer. Alright, that's one of the surprises in the van. The other one has to do with the windshield here. And you could probably already see the breakaway section right there. But if you come to the back, if you press down on the saucer when it's in that green section there, there you go. Good old Edgar pops out with his shotgun ready for action. Now the Men in Black toy line very much represented Edgar as a zombie. You lost a lot of the nuance of the actor. They just went straight out for a dead man walking, which is, you know, it's a decent interpretation. By the end of the film, he very much does look like that. But this is a bit extreme, I think. This is more Night of the Living Dead than Men in Black, but either way, the gimmick works well. You just push it down, Edgar pops out, all yelling and screaming, pointing a shotgun at you. Again, just like in the spaceship, you can't remove him. He's stuck in there. And I don't know how when he sits back down the glass reappears. Alien technology, I suppose. So, alright, so before we go, let's take a quick look at the box, the package. Alright, so here's the box. We can see it says Men in Black. Zap-'em van includes Edgar's alien spaceship. Spaceship slams Edgar through windshield. And so, yeah, we got a good image of zombie Edgar in slightly better coloring, bursting through the windshield there. And they actually do show the ship sticking out of the side, which, again, it does not do. But I think they knew it did in the movie, so they wanted to give the impression. In fact, when you see this kid here with his backwards 90s hat having a great time playing with a toy, it almost implies it does that. Same picture on the side of the box. On the back you get some product shots. I think Edgar's spaceship looks a little bit shinier in these production stills, like it might have been a more metallic paint at that point. But it points out some of the features here. It's got a pop-up alien Edgar with movable arms, opening roof, Zap-'em bug is specifically called out, as is the double-barreled shotgun, which is good. If this thing only had a single-barreled shotgun, I wouldn't have bothered to buy it. Rolling wheels, so it rolls as rolling things should. Bonus points if you know who I stole that from. And again, same picture on the side. Bottom of the box gives you a nice view of some of the other figures available in the line. Ultra Alien Edgar, or Alien Terrorist Edgar, one of the more well-known Men in Black figures, and also one of the best. We'll get to him eventually. Alrighty, gang, so that was the Men in Black Zap-'em van. I'm kind of surprised they went with this instead of the you know, the black car that the MIB themselves drive. You know, speaking of the MIB, here's K. So you can see they do scale pretty well together. But yeah, I'm surprised they went with this and not the black car that the MIB drive. My best guess is that's specifically a Ford and they didn't want to have to pay licensing fees. Who can say? But this is a fun piece to have. It's not... I have the exact opposite problem with this than I do with him. This guy here, I figure for a kid can't be very fun to play with, but he looks good as a display piece. The van, on the other hand, looks like it'd be great fun to play with, but as a display piece, it's kind of bland because all the hidden features aren't on display. It's just a green van with mud on it. Either way, runs about $30. Good price for that, I think. Hope you guys have enjoyed. This has been the Starving Martian. Catch you next time and keep watching the skies.